Yeah. Hello.
We out here with the homie Maraza, fighting with promoters that are falsely booking him, finally getting mad airplay out there on radio,
You know.
It's been a long time.
That's true. It has. And honestly, shout out to you for being one of the few who've always believed.
Yes,
consistently through and through. I'm really thankful for that.
Nah, you got almost everything. You just don't have the Drake look.
Yeah. No, listen, this is why I have to rap, okay?
Listen, you know how to make the song, you know how to make the beat, you know how to make the chorus, you know how to write the verse, you know how to make someone else's song.
Thank
then
you.
they bring you in the picture and they're like, that
He
short
doesn't know
nigga
how
with
to
the
go to
round
the gym.
face. Oh hell no. I'm just saying, that's all that's missing. All you need is just take the laser's face, take AKA's face, take some light
And Pretty
nigga's
Ugly's
face,
muscles.
and Pretty Ugly's muscles. Mix that with your music. You gotta you.
Thank you.
You are.
I don't know whether to say thank you or.
Listen,
Yeah.
these things can be solved. Michael Jackson plastic surgery. B.
Yeah,
You have the talent. You just need the plastic surgery. But
and I know how to get to Limpopo as well. Yeah.
what do you think though has been though in your way for growth? Because you make some of the best songs. You one of the dopest rappers. You really slept on. But
Thank you.
What do you think has been the reason why people are sleeping?
Ipapa.
That's,
But on a serious note, I think one of the things that have held me back, for quite a while, I think, I never had a proper structure to putting the music out there, and I definitely didn't have the finances.
Yeah.
We cannot, denounce how important the finances are. I mean,
but in your song you say you've got R1 million. Some song you say you want $1 million. You say something about millions. What you mean? Why ain't you investing back into yourself?
that's why we're here.
Alright.
Because I have invested back into myself.
Yeah.
I'm a couple $100,000 deep right now, but it's, for me, more than anything, the money allowed me to draw ears and eyes.
Yeah.
PR is very important.
Yeah.
Branding is very important, even in the look itself.
Yeah.
Although there's very little we can do about this, we can do a lot about this.
Yeah.
And also proper radio plugging.
Yeah.
So, last year, after I got married, or just before I got married.
Congratulations, you married. Did you invite me to your marriage? I appreciate you inviting me to your marriage, because I feel that we know each other from the website, I'm like, I don't even know who else is going to be at Maraza's wedding, I'm like, imagine me being there, and it's a bunch of short people like you, and I'm just like, fuck, and I'm the tallest guy. So I was like,
it's
I ain't trying to be in that awkward situation where I'm the tallest guy at your wedding.
Even my wife was taller that day.
I said, I ain't going to Maraza's wedding. Plus, it's not in Joburg. But congratulations. Thanks for the invite, though.
Thank you so much, my brother. I wish you could have come, so that my neighborhood could believe me when I say I actually know famous people, okay? There was like one white guy at my wedding.
Is it?
And then the next week, the talk was like, did you see his wedding?
Yeah.
I was like, it's one guy, and he's got a very strong tan.
Yes. Well, shout out to that one guy who called Isabelunga Yohan.
Yeah, bro.
Yeah.
For me, though, I think, last year when I was getting ready, to move my life to the next step. I'm 27 years old, by the way, because as soon as I say I'm married, people think I'm 40. I don't know why young black kids think marriage is such an uncool thing.
Well, I mean, how long have you been with the person you with?
Joe! 2007.
It's close to 8 years.
Yeah.
All right, well, it makes sense.
Yeah, already she was very legally.
Ready to
Common
go.
law, done,
Yeah.
gone. I had no choice.
Yeah.
I'm kidding. I love
Yeah.
you, baby. So,
That's what he says.
I focused on, I focused on family. I focused on who and what I was and why I was that, because I got to a stage where, obviously you're making songs and Slicker is, you've looked up to Slicker for so long. Slicker is one of the most looked up to people in the game, and Slicker's saying you're one of the greatest song makers, and Slicker's saying you're one of the greatest music video makers. You have the music video of 2015 in. But then it doesn't translate into everything else.
Yeah,
It's so stressful, it's so disheartening And I think I got to a point now where in my attempts to break into the game, I started casting out who I was and trying to look at what it is that the game wanted.
Yeah.
You know, or that was my assumption.
Yeah.
So I started making music that was even harder to get out there because, you know, it was less me.
Yeah.
This was very brief, a very, very brief point in my life, but a very potent one nonetheless, because in that period I learned, Tuguti, you know, the game loves what the game loves because someone took it upon themselves to teach them first. You know, 5 years ago, trap wasn't a thing.
Yeah.
Trap is a thing now.
Yeah.
Someone did it first. Someone did it against all odds when no one thought it was going to work. And that's why that person now is a legend. I'm obviously talking about, you know, your Futures and your Migos.
Yes, of course.
And then when I went back home, I realized, you know, even just how everyone was like, yo, you're getting married. Yo, ulobolile. Yo, it's such a rarity.
Yeah.
And because it's that much of a rarity, I realized that we have such a wealth in our own stories and a wealth in our own backgrounds that we hardly ever explore. So when I came back to Jozi, from Valley, the vacation, honeymoon came, now me, cross-border, stamps on a passport.
Recognize, you know.
Came back, you know, and I started making music that, again, is the songs you've always loved from Maraza, you know, and I was more comfortable. I was so much more confident. I literally drew up a business plan of how I was going to do it, and I drew up, you know, a 3-month, 6-month, and 12-month plan of where I wanted to see it. And I started envisioning it, and I opened my third eye, and I started speaking it into existence. And then mostly I started putting money where my mouth and mind was. And I really think that's the main thing that has happened, you know. I don't think I've changed, you know. My style is just a mature version of its own self. But I was able to look at this as more than just a passion. As a business, as an art form, as an industry, and look at Maraza as a brand that needs to be positioned in a certain way. And as soon as I started doing that, things just started falling into place.
That's great. I mean, to be quite honest though, let's just say you've probably got a 4-month mainstream career though, as a rapper. Because that's really when, I mean, I don't know how long the single's been out, but that's when I first heard you on radio, I was like, finally. And then, you know, I mean, I heard it on a deal, and the deal was something about like, yo, he used to be on Jam, blah, blah. And I was like, you know, the thing about life is that you can do this thing on the side, or you can do it for real.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And you also had your TV gig on the side,
which I quit last year.
And you also never answered your phone on the side. So you literally drop the phone, you drop a song, and then you lose your phone. And you know, a part of this business is that y'all got to keep your number. I got the same old number from 20 years ago. My number ain't changed.
Since before cell phones were invented.
Exactly. Exactly. It's 011083.
Chisa. And that's a very good point though, because I was spreading myself thin, you know. Ngapa, you've got this burning desire to make the greatest music the world has ever heard and take it to the world. But Ngapa, you've got this kid running around who's crapping in the diaper, and it needs to be changed with a fresh one. What are you going to do? I'm a father, you know. I'm a father, I'm a husband, I'm a provider. I had to make a living. But I'm so fortunate in the sense that, you know, Nkulunkulu blessed me with such an incredible life partner. You know, my wife is an amazing thing, man, because at a time when we were at our brokest, when I didn't even have a car, and I said, I'm thinking of quitting the work that's giving me 15K a month to focus on something that I don't know is going to start paying when. She was like, I'm with you. Nothing beats a support system and that really trusts in what you trust in.
So I guess that's a message to all y'all rappers and all y'all cats that are looking for these chicks that just want money. Y'all ain't gonna make it if you don't have someone that's actually gonna go broke, hustling, struggling. As long as you got a vision, I'm with you, my nigga.
And that's it.
That's it. As long as you ain't sitting and you chasing, I'm with you.
Yeah, whether she can see it or not, she believes in you so much that she'll follow what you're trying to follow. And we don't have that. It's such a rare thing. And I was able to...
That's a good thing you got married.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't come around twice.
No, it doesn't.
No. You miss it once.
Does not.
You miss it once, yo.
Yeah. For me, my thing was like, damn, she's so great.
Yeah.
If she meets another nigga now, that nigga's gonna see the greatness and take her. So I'm like, ball and chain. What's that like?
Let's go.
Jokes aside, man. You're right. I was that guy. It was also difficult to get hold of me because 1 minute I'm sending you an email about a joint I'm trying to drop. Next thing, I'm in a studio shooting a TV show, and obviously my phone has to be off, and you can't reach me. But if you really wanna do this, do it completely. That's the one thing I've learned. You want to do it fully, because even if you put 95% in, you will lose 100%. You won't get anything back. If you want to get anything back, you need to put everything in it. There's a song where I said, I just got a call. I just got a text saying the account I have with my bank's packed up. Whoa, Mana fam, back up. I was never meant for that guap. How did they get me and Patrice's bank accounts mixed up? You see, I know that I earned it, but kind of doubt I deserve it. Like there's no way I'd be blessed with that kind of karma on purpose. Look, humility is different. Everything was at stake, but I didn't give it my all because I held back the faith. At some point, I lacked enough conviction in my own ability to make it. At some point, I allowed the haters' perception of me to dictate my perception of myself. And ain't nobody gonna put money into something you yourself don't believe in. As soon as I was able to start channeling and focusing my entire being into my career, things started happening, and I got 2 phones now. Damn. So if one is off, I can answer the other one. So you can get hold of me now, Sia. You can get hold of me.
See if they charged.
I have 3 power banks. One of them is this.
Right.
And I put together a great team. I took like
competitors. He's got like it's like you got AK and Casper. He's got like Samsung and iPhone.
Yeah.
You in the
airtight and MTN.
You know what I mean? You're like in the game.
I'm there. I'm playing.
Here we go.
I'm playing, and having a great team is also a wonderful thing. Apart from obviously my wife who helps me with everything. Yeah. I also have my brother Mseti always got the swag, right? Yeah. Who also quit his job to be my road manager and bookings manager. Yeah. I've got my little brother who's in high school, whom I'm grooming to be my assistant because I'm bad with my phone. Yeah. He always makes sure that I have my phone next to me and it's charged. When I'm on tour, I'm not losing phones and whatnot. I've got my best friend who's my DJ. I've got a guy that I'm grooming as my protege who's my hype man on stage. So this team, when everyone said, okay, Sharp, we are leaving everything we're doing and we're coming in because we believe in your dream, and we're going to make sure that we funnel in and focus on that. Then again, things started happening. So the problem we have sometimes coming up is, and I spent a lot of my time in groups, I think I was also afraid of my own potential. About forefront and just that, I've always been trying to associate my brand with another. For some, I think it was an inert and maybe subconscious fear of individual rejection. At least if I'm rejected as part of forefront, then it's not just me. It's me, MT, I'm Stan, and I'm Scars, and then we all 4 of us have to share the disappointment.
So
but
you were in a crew with MT.
Yeah, I started a group called Forefront that he was in after I'd met him, and he was part of that group, and we made some dope music together.
It makes sense. I don't know the other 2 guys, but he's also highly musical.
Very.
Highly musical.
Extremely musical. We spent a lot of nights together in my studio just making music day after day, and that's how we grew to be at the point that we're at. And, I'm so grateful for what Ambitious was able to do for my brother. And it's always wonderful to see it happening so close to home.
Of course. It inspires even more.
Yebo. Yeah. And also, just like, why have you been sleeping? And I just started doing it. And shout out to MT the Hustler, man.
Yeah.
Avery. Shout out to Ambitious.
Yeah. Shout out to Horsey.
Yeah.
Since we dropping them shout outs.
I know I needed a Horsey a few months ago, B.
Yeah. But so someone else is sitting there and going, already you had built a studio. Obviously one can assume that came from your TV money. You already got all these contacts. You coming out now, you're on radio. Another kid is going, I hear you, Maraza. You say put my all in it, but but you had cash. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I want to understand that, like, well, you were how else were you making your money?
Okay, so it's a very simple thing. You know, I had a studio worth about 90,000 rands January last year. January last year I didn't have a car, you know.
Right.
I was a few months behind on rent,
Yeah.
even, you know. So I didn't have like a ton of money poured into me. I was literally surviving off a salary on a monthly basis, you know, taking care of the house that I'm living in, taking care of my mother who lives elsewhere, taking care of some family members back home, and then saving, trying to save as much as I can. Sometimes I would, in fact, I remember this one time I went and bought studio headphones instead of paying rent because I just had to have the headphones. I had to invest that into my music. So it's not like I don't even come from money B. You know, the place I come from, we only got our first tarred road in 2010.
Oh, so what is that in Nkandla?
It's Nkandla is lavish now.
I'm
But ironically, my mother comes from Nkandla.
Okay.
And, you know, this was in Stenga, Kwanyatigas. You know, my home was corrugated iron walls. Not, it's basically, only when I got here I realized, Wuti, that's actually umkuku.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I grew up in a 4-room
squatter camp was, though?
Yeah, but like
you thought we meant by squatter camp?
I thought you guys meant something better.
Yeah.
I didn't realize I had it that rough.
Yeah.
You know? So that's why I grew up, and my home was like that up until 2014 even, you know? So I used to try and get the odd jobs here and there. I did a lot of writing, a lot of music composing for TV shows, and a lot of, you know, presenting as well and emceeing work. So, you know, I'd have a 9 to 5 here, and then I'm doing the Sprite tour on the side as well.
Your life was basically chasing the next chick.
Yeah, chasing as many chicks as possible.
In the name of, this is my passion.
This is my passion, true.
Yes.
And it was my passion, it still is my passion, but everything for me stems from music.
Can I just check who this is quickly?
Yes, sir. Yeah, checks.
Chicks.
Proverb. Corrugated iron.
Yeah.
Proverb is one of my biggest inspirations for so many reasons, you know. I remember when Proverb had 5 jobs.
Yeah.
He was a producer on YFM. Was it YFM or Metro?
He was a producer on YFM.
And then he went on Metro as well, no?
Yeah.
No, he produced the Fresh Breakfast.
I remember there was a time when Pro was literally like doing everything.
Dog, you know?
Yeah.
He was producing here, he was presenting Head Rush, and he was a rapper on the side, and was doing some other stuff, you know, started getting into the corporates and all of that. And that was such a great inspiration for me, man. You know, and I got to points where I could make, like, you know, on a really good year, maybe say 200K in that year. But I'm telling you, definitely 100 of that always went to the music.
So
and
like you mean like 200K in a month? You mean?
No, yeah. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you know, I think, probably 2013 and 14, I probably cleared between 200 and 250K in each of those years. And it sounds like a great number when you're saying it now, but when you divide it by the month, it ends up at about just over 15 grand. But I used to always take that and put it into the music more than into my own sustenance and existence. I always made sure that my family was taken care of. But more often than not, I couldn't, get a cab at 5 a.m. in the morning to take me to ETV Sunrise for that 5:30 call time. Because it's ironic. You're investing in the music, and because you're investing so much in the technical aspect of the music, you're left with no money to invest in the marketing aspect of it. And that's the cycle that I was going through over and over and over. But now I sit and I look back and I'm like, okay, sharp. I own the flat I live in. And in that flat, I have a studio, one side, and I've got my own performance equipment on the one side. I've got a concept performance I call the one-man band. 3 keyboards, 2 loop recorders, 1 vocal effects pedal, 3 microphones, bloody fucking Prince guitar there, and I perform as one man playing all of these instruments and making the music live on stage. Because I spent so much time in that studio working. I couldn't afford to get an engineer, so I had to learn to be an engineer.